What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Little Scale Cars YouTube channel. Today in the review box we have the all-new for 2024 Pagani Utopia from Hot Wheels mainline. This car is the replacement for the Huayra and continues on Pagani's legacy of crazy, wild, cool supercars. So let's see if Hot Wheels has done any good by replicating it in 1/64 scale. So as always, let's get things started with our casting. Just taking a look at our proportions and everything, it looks pretty nice to me proportionally. Don't really see anything crazy out of whack or anything. There's the real life car up in the top right corner for you to compare a little bit. As you can see, it is pretty good. So getting into the casting itself, we can see that we have the biggest thing, we have this split down the center here. And that is where the base plastic bit meets the kind of main body. They did this with the Rimac as well, and personally it doesn't bother me because the colors do blend pretty nicely, but this is definitely the biggest complaint that people have had about this casting. But personally, I think it looks pretty good and it was done fairly well. Like I said, it comes down this entire thing, it incorporates this entire splitter up front here, and it incorporates the majority of the back section to all this diffuser area through here. So definitely something to make note of. We do get a ton of casted detail in on this one, though. Like every little kind of body line and crease and just crazy detail that Pagani has is replicated here. Even the spoiler, despite Hot Wheels not being able to separate that for children's safety, they still, like, it looks as though that's what they're supposed to be replicating. Up front, all this meshing is actually detailed in, which looks really good, and that's actually part of the metal, not even the plastic, so that's really cool to see. Making your way down the side, you will notice that there are no mirrors on this casting. With the Utopia's mirrors, that's not too surprising though, although it is slightly disappointing. When we look at some of the engineering bits, all this is a piece of the window piece, which is nice. We talked about how the base wraps around, but this exhaust is also a piece of the window, which I think is really cool, and it looks nice. For our paint and deco, we have this nice, simple silver color. It's like a champagne silver almost, as it has a slight hint of other colors to it. I can't quite put my finger on it, but overall it looks good. Matches the kind of real-life show car, the presentation colors, very nicely. Hard to tell here, but we do have kind of a red interior in there, which looks really good. I really like the way that came out. And overall, I think this was a fantastic first choice for the first edition color wave. Moving into our details. So getting things started, we obviously get our headlights up front, but these are just tampos, so it is possible that with crazy decos down the line, we could possibly get those skipped, which is definitely something to make note of. We do get the little Pagani logo replicated right here, and we get like this section that's typically a little thing of carbon fiber, looking really good. Like I mentioned, there is actually meshing in the grill section here, which looks really, really nice. Coming down to the sides, we get a little tampo thing here. We get a little tampo thing here. The door handle is tampoed in, and this little section here gets a little silver tampo, which looks great. Horatio Pagani's signature on the side, looking fantastic. Definitely a surprise to see that. We do get 10-spoke wheels, as I think would probably the best choice for this particular release. Coming to the back section here, though, sadly, taillights do not get painted. However, the taillights on this car are interesting. A lot of even the premium brands have been leaving them kind of white. So maybe this is actually done on purpose, because we do actually get a Utopia tampo back here. So we did get a rear tampo pass. So interesting little things to take note of there. Moving into our roll test, as a mainline, it should be no surprise that it rolls extremely well. I put this one on the scale and it comes out to be 30.16 grams, so it is a little bit on the lighter side of things, but not too far under the average weight of a mainline. That plastic definitely playing a part in the weight. Pros and cons, getting started with our pros. The biggest pro is that this is the cheapest way to get a Pagani Utopia into your collection. At the time of this recording, there is a CCA release, there is a Tarmac Works release, and there is this release. And BBR is got one on the way, and I think CM model has theirs out right now as well. So there are tons of choices, but this one is by far the cheapest, and it was done very good. That being said, that is also going to be our second pro, is that it looks really good. If you're not a big collector of premium brands, I don't think you're really going to miss those premium brands with this release if you're a big Hot Wheels guy, because this looks really good. Well, there is one con that we need to touch up on, though, and for me, like I mentioned, it doesn't bother me, but it is by far the biggest criticism I have seen, and it is that plastic base not perfectly color matching with the rest. Not really sure why that was done. They did it with the Rimac as well, and on the Rimac it didn't bother me. It doesn't bother me here, but I guess the potential for kind of discoloration in the future is definitely there. This particular release, it doesn't bother me, but I could see it bothering other people, and I have heard the complaints. For some quick size comparisons, here we have it with the Hot Wheels Pagani Zonda R and the Matchbox Pagani Huayra Roadster. And here we have it with some premium brand Paganis, with the Mini GT Pagani Zonda F and the Tarmac Works Pagani Huayra BC. So with that, it is now time to give my overall scores here. The hype level, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. All the supercar fans were very excited for this one, and it was actually pretty tough to find in my area, at least, which is wild because my area is typically not a supercar area. Execution, I'm going to give it a 9.7 out of 10. There's not a whole lot I would have changed about this one. Community input, I gave this one to the council to decide. Here is their scores. As you can see, everyone who voted had a very favorable opinion of this one. So that is going to average out to be a 9.3. When we take these three scores and add them together and average them out, we are going to come up with a 9.5 out of 10 overall score, which I think is a very good score for a very good model, especially factoring in that this is a $1 basic model. This release is fantastic and came out looking so good. This casting was done super, super well. I'm really excited to see where it goes down the line. It's definitely one that I'm going to be collecting as many as I can of, for sure, despite the fact that I am going to be buying premium versions of this as well. When I say premium, I'm talking like probably going to get the BBR, the Tarmac Works, that kind of stuff. Speaking of premium, though, imagine if this casting does get a premium release at some point, which I really think they should, and it gets that metal base. That will really put it over the top for me. I think that will be phenomenal. It'll be nice and heavy and will ditch that kind of two-tone look that it could potentially have, or that some people claim this one does have. Overall, though, I think that would be phenomenal. But this one, I don't think you should pass on by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's fantastic, especially at the price point. Pick one up. You're not going to want to miss this one. And with that, guys, that is all I have for this review. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and leave a comment down below telling me what your thoughts are on this particular model, and I will see you in the next video.